Yes lads, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel, and today I'm going to bring you guys the West Ham United versus Leicester City match review. So guys, it's just finished at London Stadium. West Ham United 1, Leicester City 2. What a brilliant 3 points that was away from home, from a very changed side from the side which started last time out against Liverpool. But today I'm going to go for my general thoughts on today's game, and at the end of today's match review I'll go for my player ratings from the side which started today against West Ham. Before we get into it, make sure a big thumbs up down below on today's video if you're going to enjoy this West Ham versus Leicester match review. Subscribe if you haven't seen my face on your screen before. We're on the road to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, so if you guys could subscribe, it will be massively appreciated. And while you're down there, make sure my channel has notifications so you never miss any future videos on the channel, just like this one. Follow my social medias down there, links to all of them will be in the description down below. And let me know your thoughts on today's game. Did you like the video or not? Let me know in the comment section down below. So it has just finished at London Stadium. West Ham United 1, Leicester City 2. What a brilliant 3 points that was from a very changed side from the side which started last time out against Liverpool on Box Day. In fact, 9 changes were made, so what a brilliant 3 points it was. A second string team, and we still managed to pick up 3 points against a very poor West Ham away from home. But it's still a brilliant 3 points away from home at this time of the season. It's very crucial to be picking up these 3 points, even with a changed side. So it was only Kasper Schmeichel and Johnny Evans who survived from that 4-0 defeat last time out. So James Justin came in at right back. Wes Morgan lined up alongside Johnny Evans in defence, with Christian Fuchs coming in at left back. A midfield pairing of Nepalese Mendy and Hamza Chowdhury came in just behind Ayoze Perez, who lined up just behind KELECHI and IHEANACHO up front, with DEMARI Gray and Michael Brighton out wide. It was a very changed lineup, but it was a very capable lineup as well to get the 3 points. That really showed. It was a perfect way to bounce back after those 2 poor results against Manchester City and Liverpool. And what a brilliant 3 points that was away from home. Especially in December, it's very important to keep the points rolling over, as it's a very busy period. Lots of teams are changing lineups, formations, stuff like that. And this really showed today. It wasn't the most glamorous 3 points you would ever find in the Premier League this season, but it was a 2-1 win, a solid performance away from home. Like I said, it wasn't the most glamorous. We didn't thrash them. There weren't like really good goals or anything, but most importantly, we got the 3 points and we keep the points ticking over as we head into January. But it was made fairly easy from a very poor West Ham United side. They sit just above the relegation zone as we speak, and I really do fear the worst for West Ham under Manuel Pellegrini. They were very poor tonight, and it was fairly easy to get another 3 points on the board. But getting on to the game itself, Leicester started off fairly well. The first big chance did come through Michael Brighton, a good shot saved by Fabianski. There's a couple of half chances for either side here and there, but the first big chance did come through KELECHI and actually being threaded through from DEMARI Gray, chipped over the keeper, and Fabianski brought the Nigerian international down, and Leicester were awarded a penalty just after 10 minutes. DEMARI Gray stepped up and he missed. It was a good save by Lucas Fabianski with a big chance gone for Leicester there, but there's a couple of good chances for either side. It was a very open game in the first half, but James Justin put in I wouldn't say it was a cross, but it found its way to Ayoze Perez, who headed it back to IHEANACHO, who headed in past Lucas Fabianski, and Leicester had the lead just before half time. But West Ham went forward, typical Leicester thing to do. We conceded just before the break. PABALO FORNALLS with the West Ham equaliser. A very good goal by West Ham. Christian Fuchs diving in on Felipe Anderson, and that was really costly for the goal. And West Ham got themselves level just before half time. Going into the second half, Brendan Rodgers didn't make any changes initially, but DEMARI Gray was threaded through and he finished brilliantly past Lucas Fabianski to get Leicester back in front. That came about 10 minutes into the second half. A good finish from DEMARI Gray past Fabianski, making up for his penalty missed. And over there, and for the rest of the game, it was very quiet. Leicester did well to contain West Ham. Had a couple of other chances here and there with lots of Harvey Barnes and even Wes Morgan getting on with a chance. Leicester bringing some more experienced players in, with Wilfred Ndidi and James Maddison coming on, and later Harvey Barnes. West Ham didn't have any really clear-cut chances. Kasper Schmeichel wasn't tested too much, and overall it was a very complete and solid 3 points away from home. But that's it for my thoughts on the game today. So let's get into my player ratings. So this is where I rate each player's performance from the side which started today against West Ham. Start off in goal with Kasper Schmeichel. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he couldn't do too much without the PABALO FORNALLS equaliser for West Ham. His distribution was much better from his distribution against Liverpool last time out. So overall, it was a solid performance from Kasper Schmeichel. Didn't really have to do too much. So yeah, solid performance from Kasper, so 7 out of 10. So moving into the back four, to start off at right back with James Justin. I thought the youngster was brilliant tonight at London Stadium. Defensively, he was very good against Felipe Anderson as well. And going forward, he offered some good threats here and there. So overall, I'm going to give James Justin an 8 out of 10. I thought he was really good tonight against West Ham. Moving into the 2 centre backs, so starting off with Wes Morgan. I'm going to give Big Wes a 7 out of 10 today. I thought Wes Morgan had a very solid game. No no mistakes from him or either Johnny Evans. So very solid and complete performance from Wes Morgan. I thought he couldn't do too much about the West Ham goal. It was a good bit of movement from West Ham and it's hard to defend against that. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for Wes Morgan. And likewise, the other centre-back, Johnny Evans, also going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Johnny Evans had another good game. Obviously, he didn't get rested, so it's going to be interesting to see if he does start against Newcastle on New Year's Day. But a very good performance from Johnny Evans today, so 7 out of 10 for him. And at left back with Christian Fuchs, another 7 out of 10 for him, a very complete and solid performance from the Austrian left back against West Ham. Didn't offer as much threat as James Justin did going forward. Defensively, he was much stronger. Made a bit of a mistake for the West Ham goal, but overall, Christian Fuchs made up for that with a very solid performance today. Moving into midfield, so starting off with Hamza Chowdhury, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Hamza had a very good game today. A lot of crunchy tackles by him in the middle. We know what we're going to get through Hamza Chowdhury, and he really showed us today. Obviously, he's a very good option to bring on in games, and especially in the winter period, he might be a good feature going forward for Leicester. Obviously, the youngster, the young English talent, he's very good, and he really showed his class tonight at London Stadium. And the other central midfielder, Nepalese Mendy, I thought he had a brilliant performance today, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Obviously, he got took off earlier, but I thought he was really good in the middle of the park today. Obviously, we haven't seen him yet so far this season, and I think he really put a big claim out for him to be maybe starting in some future games. I thought he was brilliant tonight on the ball. Obviously, he's more defensive, used a lot on the club ball last season, but I thought Mendy was really good. He really surprised me. So yeah, fair play for Mendy for putting in a very good performance. Moving ahead of them, going with Ayoze Perez, I'm going to give the Spaniard a 6 out of 10. It probably does sound pretty harsh, but for Ayoze Perez's standards, I thought he could have done a little bit more today at London Stadium. Obviously, he got the 2 assists for the goals, but that was his only real moments of the game. I thought he could have done a little bit more, but it is very harsh. But 6 out of 10 for Ayoze Perez. I thought he could have done a little bit more. Moving into the left wing position with DEMARI Gray, I'm going to give DEMARI Gray an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a very good performance from Gray today. I thought he could have done a little bit more as well, but obviously missed the penalty, but made it with a brilliant finish to get Leicester back in front in the second half with that goal. So yeah, good performance from DEMARI Gray today. Hopefully he can feature in a couple more games going forward. And the right mid with Mark Albrighton, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought Mark Albrighton was brilliant, closing down. His defensive work was good as well. And going forward, he did really well. He was a big part of the first goal with his crossing ability. He was very good today, was Mark Albrighton. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for him. And now finally up front with KELECHI IHEANACHO, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Obviously he got his goal, a decent header, but he didn't really do too much more than that. But obviously he got his goal, so good performance from KELECHI IHEANACHO today. I thought he could have done a little bit more, like I said, made a bit more movement up front, but he got his goal, so 7 out of 10 for the Nigerian international. But that's it for the West Ham versus Leicester match review. So if you did enjoy today's video, subscribe if you haven't already. What a brilliant 3 points that was away from home against a very poor West Ham United side, but with a very changed 11 going into the game. It's Newcastle away next up on New Year's Day, so get ready for the match preview and review for that one, guys. Bye, SPORTSA, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.